So if you're looking for a smaller tablet that's around the 8-inch size, there's not a lot of options out there when it comes to Android. The A7 Lite is one of the newest offerings from Samsung, and I thought we'd compare that to an older 8-inch tablet from Lenovo that I think a lot of people have forgot about. You have the Tab M8 HD, and then you have the Tab M8 Full HD. Not a whole lot of differences between the two. They're gonna look almost identical, but there are a few differences, so I may mention one or the other depending on which category we're talking about to see how it compares to the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. Now, pricing on these smaller tablets are actually pretty affordable, around $100 to $200 depending on which version you go with. You're gonna get 3 gigabytes of RAM with 32 gigabytes of storage, 4 gigabytes with 64 gigabytes of storage with the A7 Lite, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage on the regular M8, and then slightly better with 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage with the Full HD version. So a little bit better options there with the A7 Lite. On the Lenovo tablets, you got an 8-inch 1280 by 800 resolution for the regular M8, 1920 by 1200 on the Full HD version, 350 nits brightness for both of them, but I gotta say, they definitely don't look like the same brightness. Then you get 1340 by 800 resolution for the A7 Lite, and that's gonna be a little bit bigger screen at 8.7 inches. It's pretty obvious the best looking screen out of all three of these is going to be the Full HD Tab M8. It's got better resolution. It also appears to be a little bit brighter than the other two, even though supposedly it's the same brightness as the regular M8. And when you put these tablets next to each other, you can also tell the Full HD version has a little bit brighter colors, better viewing angles. Pretty much everything about the Full HD version just looks better than the other two. You can also watch YouTube videos in 1080p resolution on all of these, only SD playback quality with Netflix on all three as well. During my battery drain test, the Tab M8 Full HD lasted 7.5 hours before it died, while the regular M8 lasted 2 hours longer, 9.5 hours. So it's pretty good for both of those compared to other tablets I've tested. And then the A7 Lite only lasted 6 hours with full screen brightness during the same test. So Lenovo is gonna win here with better battery life, but all three of these tablets should last long enough to get you through the whole day with normal usage, even longer if you turn the screen brightness down. And then interesting thing is the M8 Full HD and the A7 Lite actually have the same exact processor, MediaTek Helio P22T. The regular Tab M8 has a MediaTek Helio 822. Even though the A7 Lite is the newer of the three tablets, it's not really much faster. In fact, the Geekbench testing, as you can see here, surprisingly almost identical between the M8 Full HD and the A7 Lite. But keep in mind, these tablets are considered entry-level in many categories, including performance. You're also going to get very similar gaming performance with all of these tablets, with smooth graphics, medium frame rates on games like PUBG Mobile. Asphalt 9 seems to play fine on these as well. I didn't have any major glitches during my testing. Again, these aren't going to be the fastest tablets out there and definitely not the best for gaming, but I think you can still enjoy playing games on all three of these, especially at such a small form factor. It just makes them a lot easier to handle than some of the larger tablets out there. Now, software-wise, the Tab M8 and Full HD version came with Android 9. They're currently on Android 10. So I'm gonna take a guess and say they're not getting any more software updates. Hopefully they're still getting security updates, but I think they're still gonna get the job done when gaming. Just keep in mind, these aren't gonna be the fastest tablets out there, and they're not gonna be the best gaming tablets either. Now, software-wise, the Lenovo tablets launched with Android 9 currently are on Android 10. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and saying they're not getting any more software updates. Hopefully they're still getting security updates. The A7 Lite was just released June of last year, so it's getting close to 1 year old now. It's currently on Android 11, and so yeah, it's gonna have better software support. I feel like this is one area where Samsung is winning, is with software updates. They keep raising the bar for the competition, which is good in my opinion, but I feel like if companies like Lenovo could start doing software updates similar to Samsung, it would really give people other options when it comes to Android tablets and phones. Now, the other thing you're going to notice about the older Lenovo tablets, it's using micro USB to charge versus USB-C on the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. And then when it comes to speakers, there isn't much of a comparison here. Even with Dolby Atmos on the Lenovo tabs, they really can't compete against the dual speaker setup on the A7 Lite. Here's a quick sample of each just to see what you think, but just know in person, the A7 Lite sounds quite a bit better and obviously has the louder speakers. As far as cameras go, I've got to be honest, I don't think I would grab any of these tablets for Zoom meetings, or if I needed to take a photo or a video of something, I would definitely use pretty much any cell phone out there. You're just going to get better results than what you're going to get with these tablets. You get a 5 megapixel rear facing camera, 2 megapixel on the front for the M8 and M8 Full HD, a slightly better 8 megapixel rear facing on the A7 Lite, and then still only 2 megapixel front facing. Here's a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect. You're probably going to want to use your cell phone over these tablets. So that's pretty much all the time I've got for this one. So hopefully it gave you a little bit closer look at the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite versus the two Tab M8 tablets by Lenovo. I've got a lot more tablet and phone comparisons coming soon, so you'll definitely want to look out for those. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from FHD Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.